Hey everyone. So this week, again, I'm going to refer around to where my notes are. This week, going to hop into something kind of along the lines of what Pastor Wade was saying uh, yesterday. Uh, it's also a post you guys might have seen on social media, uh, talking about the quote that Pastor Wade had said about how God is using 2020 for good to kind of draw us out. Uh, yeah. So I'll read the verse to give some context. So it's John 13, verses 15 to 17. For I have given you an example that also should do just as I have done to you. Truly, truly, I say to you, a servant is not greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. If you know these things, blessed are you if you do them. So the idea behind this, I got from my reading of a. So there's a devotional book called My Utmost for His Highest. A lot of you may have heard of it. Pretty quick devotions. You can find it like for free. Like the Bible app I have has the entire devotion for the year in there. So yeah, I encourage you guys to look that up. But so, anyways, it used this verse to kind of address the similar topic that Wade was referring to. Obviously, it was written a while ago, so it's not a direct response to 2020. But God uses things. But so there's a line that's really poignant. It's, if you yourself do not cut the lines that tie you to the dock, God will have to use a storm to sever them and send you out to sea. If this year isn't a storm, I don't know what is. Yeah. We're all called to do God's work in the world, whether we want to or not. If we're followers of God, it's going to happen. You're going to be used for God's work, by God, regardless if you want to. Take Jonah, for example. Jonah's a very good textbook example. He was called by God, knew exactly what God was calling him to do, decided, maybe I'm not going to do that. We know what happened to Jonah. He had a couple storms, one literal storm, one metaphorical storm of being eaten by a fish. But afterwards, he was forced to do what God was calling him to do. And in hindsight, he could see that, yes, God knew what he was saying, and everything that God had promised to work out worked out. Jonah did not die from going to Nineveh. But the Bible's full of stories of God accomplishing these wonderful things through people, and the joy that those people can experience from being part of that. The second verse, talking about the servant is not greater than his master, or the messenger is not greater than the one who sent it. It really ties into Jesus' life. I mean, it's the book of John, so that's the era of the writing anyways. But God, or Jesus, came down as God and man, did so much for the kingdom, really set it up to be what we know it as today, and then ultimately died for us, for his kingdom, for everything to kind of become real. And we're not better than him. We are his messengers. We are his servants. But shouldn't we be at least willing to give the same type of effort? Maybe that doesn't mean you're dying, but giving your life to a cause, giving your energy to something that maybe you want to sit home and play video games or stay on Facebook. But God's calling you to go out and do something else, something greater. And when you do that, you'll really feel the joy and the power that God can have through you. So, as the world continues reopening, don't be ruled by fear. Stand up for what's right and let God lead you. We know in some sense what God calls us to do. It may not be as exact as what Jonah had or what Jesus had, but we know at least when God's calling us to not do something versus something. So don't doubt. And as the last verse says, if you know these things, blessed are you if you do them.